We'll say the prayer. हमें अपने मन को हमेशा संतुलित रखना है। इसी में हमारा आत्मविकास समाया हुआ है। Okay. So last time we did Sutra 10 and 11 and saw that there are 3 stages of dealing with the kleshas. Then Tanukaran, and then reducing the kleshas to the burnt seed stage, Dagda Bij, and then complete annihilation of the kleshas with the Pratiprasava, that is the mind going back to its original source. Now, from Sutra 12 onwards, the connection of the kleshas with our day-to-day activity and whatever we do in life, that is being shown by way of karma theory. So 3 sutras are dealing with karma theory. Sutra 12, 13 and 14. And the primary thing about the klesha being operative is that, and why it is desirable to deal with the klesha is because kleshas are responsible for creating pain for us, misery for us, suffering for us. And this suffering, this misery, this pain, it can be dealt with. One can overcome it provided one is motivated enough to think about it and work on one's own self. If we continue to live the life like a victim, we are at the mercy of the circumstances, we are at the mercy of the fate, we are at the mercy of the happenings, then that is one way of looking at life and living our life. But then we are subject to so much variations in experiences, and major portion of those variations would be related to painful experiences. So if at all this pain is to be avoided, then one has to take the path of this yoga and understanding the role of the kleshas, how the kleshas can be eliminated. So Sutra 15 talks about this dukkha. That will be analyzed very beautifully. Now, 3 sutras, 12, 13 and 14, they are dealing with the karma siddhanta, karma theory. So Sutra 12 says, Klesha Mulaha Karmashayo Drashta Drashta Janma Vedaniya. And the meaning is karmashay or latent impressions of action based on afflictions become active in this life or in a life to come. Then 13th sutra, because they are related ideas, so I'm reading all the sutras together and then we will begin. And then we will see how far we are able to go today and whether we need to continue it in the next session. So since the sutras are related, now 13th sutra says, Sati Mule Tadvipako Jati Ayur Bhogah. As long as the kleshas remain at the root, karmashay produces 3 consequences in the form of birth, span of life, and experiences. And the 14th sutra says, Te lada paritapa phala punya punya hetutvat. Because of the virtue and vice, these birth, span, and experience produce pleasure and painful experiences. So these three sutras are dealing with our life experiences and what happens exactly, what is at the root of the various kinds of experiences we go through in life. So now going into this karma theory, it is not, it cannot be said that, it is exactly like in mathematics 2 plus 2, 4. That is for the simple reason that there are so many variables in the universe. When we are personally going through a certain experiences, we obviously try to find out why I'm going through these experiences. And then we are able to pin down, or we are able to come to, zero down on some kind of major cause for that. But not all the causes are available to our mind for understanding, because the variables are too many, and our capacity to understand, our capacity to calculate, our capacity to understand, that is very limited. So now this is the best possible kind of answer as to why we are going through certain experiences. Because when we look at the human beings, by being very intelligent by nature, right from the inception of human society, this question is being asked: why certain people are going through bad experiences, why others are enjoying life, why some people are born lucky, why some people are born so lucky that they don't know any problem, and there are people who are full of problems all throughout their life. So these questions were raised right at the inception of human race, and various kinds of speculations were made, various kinds of theories have come into existence. So one of the answer is that most of the scientific answer and favorite answer of the people who are intellectual kind, that it is the nature of things and nobody can explain it. The world is accidental and our life is also accidental. We have come to life and this is the way life is. So that is one answer. The other answer of the religious people, they say that everything is God's doing. So they say that whatever we are going through, it is God's will. But then the again intelligent question comes that, would God want us to suffer? And why God would want us, one set of people to suffer and other people not suffer and enjoy life? So why is God unjust, or is God partial? So these kind of doubts will come into the mind, and these kind of arguments are and then the most profound theory of science is cause and effect, which is applicable in the karma theory, which is related to karma siddhant, cause and effect theory. If we are going through certain experiences, there has to be a cause for that. And what is that cause? Are we able to understand that cause? So from all the possible explanations of the variety of experience and variations in the experience of human life by various people in this world, the best possible answer which could be given is by accepting the karma siddhant. But this karma siddhant, many people have this doubt in their mind that believing in karma is like becoming a fatalist. और मतलब हम लोग ऐसे जैसे ये बोले कि मतलब we have given the onus to this and we don't have any freedom, and whatever fate is showing us, we have to just accept it. That kind of arguments are also there against the karma with siddhant also. So if that is because person has not really considered the karma theory in a scientific way, in a systematic way, in a logical way, that's why perhaps this is the this is what people criticize it for, or they don't accept it. So but then in spite of all these intellectual arguments, a major portion of this of the population in this world believes in karma theory. Why it believes in karma theory? Because one thing we have to understand: the majorly populated part of the world is Asia, and in that our country is there, China is there, Japan is there, Indonesia is there, Thailand is there, Singapore is there, or other Southeast Asian countries are there. In all these countries, you will find in Indonesia, of course, there's uh, other religion which is predominant, but rest of the countries, Buddhism is prevalent, and in Indian thinking, Hinduism is prevalent. So in all Indian thinking, all Indian philosophies, as well as in Buddhism, Karma Siddhant is accepted. So majority of the people who are born as Indians or born as Buddhists, they will be believing in karma theory, and it happens that whenever some events are taking place, if a person is unfortunate and is going through some bad experiences, we ask him, what do you think? He said, my karmas. So people here very easily, pass this comment and say that whatever I am going through, it is because of my karmas. But then a thinking mind has to really deeply think and analyze what is the truth of it. And if one says that the people who say that it is my karma, you see, unconsciously they are taking responsibility for the experiences they are going through. So in short, what are they trying to say? They are trying to say that when they say my karma, they are trying to say that maybe I have done something in the past because of which I am going through these kind of experiences. So this is what they do. So this fatalist idea is definitely not applicable for the followers of karma theory. But unfortunately, what happens is majority of people, what is their behavior? Often you will find that we are always trying to, from the kleshas we have seen, we are seeking pleasure. We want to live a life where we are free from the troubles, we are free from the efforts, we are free from the hard work. And we want to maximize the pleasure, and we want to avoid troubles and pains at any cost. That is the normal approach we all have towards life. And in this process, we go on managing our life. Whenever trouble comes, we try to find out, some kind of solution. Often, for feeling good, we will blame the society, we will blame the people, we'll blame God, we'll blame parents, we'll blame our school teachers, the present circumstances of society, the political scenario, the religious or the social norms. So various kinds of areas are there where the blame goes. And this way we try to become little saintly, or we try to, get some peace out of it. When we pass on the blame to somebody, we can cry, and then, in that process, people also may sympathize with us. Bichare ko kya ho gaya, bichara dukhi hai. So people may, give their shoulder for us to cry on. So this way the life goes on. And this is how most of the time we are functioning. Very few times it happens in case of exceptional individuals who say that I am responsible for whatever is happening to me. I have played a role in it. Maybe not so strongly, but then they have this awareness, and they don't play this blame game. They stop their blame game, and they try to understand as to what needs to be done, what is the correct way of living life. People who break down, or people who are not able to manage life with the problems, then what they do, they will go to a therapist. They'll go to a therapist, and they'll, put the entire onus will be on the therapist. I have come to you, you make me okay. When the physical disease are there, we forget that we have played a role in creating it by overeating, by wrong eating, by wrong thinking. Several other reasons are there. But when we go to doctor, we expect that the doctor is a miraculous person, and he has got a magic wand, and he will just remove all my troubles within no time. This is our expectation. So there also, instead of taking responsibility and taking onus on our shoulders, we are just throwing our, all our responsibilities on the therapist. The doctor mujhe theek karo. Psychological cases also the same. Psychosomatic diseases are there, or when mental disorders are there, we go to therapists. We think that they are miraculous people and they will make us okay. Sometimes people, often, which is very, very common thing to do, is we go to religious gurus. हम लोग गुरु बना लेते हैं, या गुरुओं के पास जाते हैं, रिलीजियस लोगों के पास जाते हैं. उनके पास जाने से मेरे ट्रबल सब वैनिश हो जाएंगे. ये कहीं ना कहीं सोच रहती है कि मैं, अब इसके पीछे और एक सोच रहती है कि मुझे कुछ करना नहीं है. Why we are surrendering to these gurus, why we are surrendering to the therapists and doctors and the healers? Because we don't want to do anything. We have got nothing. We think that we don't have any responsibility in our troubles, be it physical troubles or mental troubles. Most of the problems which we are facing at the attitude level, the kind of attitudes we have, the thinking patterns we have, the behavior pattern we have, the dislikes and likes we have, the fears we have. all the biases and inhibitions which we have in our life. Those are responsible for the problems, but we don't pay attention to them. We think that, I'm very unfortunate, I'm a victim, things are happening to me, and I'm just like a helpless uh, dead object, and others should help me, and I have got nothing to do with my problem. It has been imposed on me by nature. Now, this is the thinking most of the time people enjoy and people take recourse to. And when they go to therapists, they expect that miracles will happen, and they don't want to really work on themselves. I remember a very great quote by Dr. Jaydev, very important quote. If we can understand the secret of that quote and the philosophy behind that quote, our lives can change completely. Once it so happened that a new course for the sadhakas of the Yoga Institute had started, and doctor reluctantly gave permission to start that course, because maybe somewhere that he had this in mind that maybe it may not be helpful like the earlier attempts which were made by him and other teachers, Hansaben and other teachers at the institute, to improve the lot of sadhakas. So at the very beginning of the course, doctor passed this comment, and I have often quoted this. I have often repeated this quote at several places, even at the institute. Sometimes I have repeated it. Doctor said, "No alchemist has survived to turn the base metal into the gold, for the simple reason that all the efforts to do so were coming from the outside and not from within." So he was addressing to the sadhakas. He said, teachers are trying to change you. Teachers are trying to show you the right path. Teachers are putting all the best effort, like the alchemist, to turn you into gold. But where is the effort from within? And unless this effort from within is there, that transformation doesn't change place. The empowerment doesn't take place. The health which is, or the balance of mind, or the strength of mind which we are seeking, that doesn't come, because simply it cannot come from outside. Unless the effort is within, it cannot. Nobody has got magic to turn us into something which we are not. If we want to turn into something better, we have to put efforts. So this is where the relevance of Karma Siddhanta lies, that Karma Siddhanta believes that whatever we are doing, that is responsible for the kind of future experiences which we are facing, or which we encounter. So from that point of view, these three sutras are very, very important. If we understand them, if we try to understand their significance, if they see their relevance, then perhaps it can be very, very great this decision in our life.
वैसे आज कुछ नहीं मैं
आया अभी कपड़े में आ
Can you see who's okay.
Sir, can you please repeat that quote?